a Java framework. Okay, so and also it is an ORM tool. Okay, it is an ORM tool. Okay, to simplify, which is used to simplify the development of Java application to interact with the database. Okay, so it is used to simplify the Java application to interact. Okay, to interact with database. Okay, so this is a basically Hibernate. So Hibernate, okay, Hibernate always implements the okay one type of specification. Okay, so there is a difference between tool specification, functionality, and a framework. Okay, so generally, so Hibernate implements the specification of JPA. Okay, Hibernate implements JPA standard specification. Okay, JPA specification. Okay, so we have to understand what is this JPA and what is meant by ORM tool. Okay, so here let's discuss some important, okay, some more features of Hibernate, then we can discuss about this particular JPA and particular ORM tool. Okay, so here, okay, so Hibernate has a one separated language which is known as the Hibernate. Okay, Hibernate has HQL, which stands for, okay, any guess what is meant by Hibernate? Sorry, HQL.
So Hibernate query language.
Very good. Hibernate query language. Okay, Hibernate has one HQL, so which is the complementary or which is a subsidiary of SQL. Okay, so in JDBC program we are writing the SQL commands like select the star from so and so. Okay, so update the something. Okay, we are writing those kind of things now. So but here, okay, so HQL is very similar to the SQL. Okay, HQL is very similar to the SQL, but it has its own structure. Okay, so HQL has its own structure which is simplex. Okay, which is very simpler than the JDBC program or a SQL program. Okay, so here we have a HQL na? So here no need to create a table in the SQL separately. Okay, we can create the tables from Hibernate also. Okay, actually, so when we are creating the JDBC program, when you are creating a Dowlock structure na? So we created a table in the database. Okay, and we are fetching the data from the table, or we are inserting the data into the table. Okay, we are doing such kind of operations na? But when you are using Hibernate, okay, when you are using Hibernate, no need to create a table separately in the, okay, database. Okay, so if you are having one particular database na, so you can directly create the table. Okay, so here we can create a, we are creating a models. Did you remember the models? Okay, we created a something like model, like customer. Okay, so which is having, okay, something like int customer ID. Okay, sorry, string customer name. Okay, so string customer email. Okay, we are having these kind of things now. Customer account balance, we are having these kind of things. Okay, so here we can, by using this particular class, okay, here this class is known as a entity in the Hibernate. Okay, we can call this particular class as a entity. So here, okay, we can create a table with the name of the class name. Okay, we can create the table with the name of class name, and we can create the different columns, okay, by using the global variables of the class. Okay, we are having some variables now, so by using these variables are the columns of a table. Like we are creating the columns like cid, integer. Okay, like c name, varchar 2 of 20, varchar 2 of 50. We are doing such kind of a things now. So here this particular customer class act as a table in the database, and these variables, okay, these variables will act as a, okay, columns. Okay, columns of the table. And if you create a if you create, okay, if you create something like an object for the class, okay, if you create something object for the customer class, these objects, okay, these objects are the rows of a table. Okay, object of a class is equal to rows of a table. Okay, so I mean, by using these particular entity and IDs and everything, okay, we can create a separate tables in the Hibernate. Okay, so we can create tables tables directly from the Java application, from Java application. No need to go to the database, no need to update the table, no need to do anything. Okay, so and so when we are fetching, okay, when we are fetching one particular value, or when we are fetching, okay, I mean values, some values from the table in the JDBC program, we are using something like result set, right? So we are using something like result set, but here we can use the object of a class to retrieve the values. Okay, we can use object of the class. Okay, so here we can fetch the values, okay, in the format of objects. Okay, in the form of objects we can get the value, so you can convert your objects into anything. Okay, so here we can easily fetch the easily fetch the values of a table as objects. Okay, as objects. Okay, um, in very easy way. Okay, we can say in very easy way. Okay, these are the some kind of usages. Okay, this is some kinds of, okay, best usages of Hibernate. Okay, features, we can say it as a features. Okay, so when we are defining the Hibernate, we defined two important keywords, which is a ORM tool and which is also a JPA. Okay, Hibernate implements JPA specification, right? So Hibernate is a framework, and it's also known as the ORM tool. So we have to know what is a ORM tool, and we have to know what is a JPA. Okay, so do you know what is meant by JPA? Any guess, boys? JPA.
Java Persistence API.
Very good. Okay. It meant by API stands for Java Persistence API. Okay. Hmm. Why it is used for? What is the use of JPA? Okay. So this Java, I mean Java Persistent API is a specification. Okay. It is a specification of Java. Okay. It is a specification of Java which acts as bridge between the, okay, which acts as bridge between the object oriented model and RDBMS, relational database management. Okay, so the JPA is a Java persistence API, which is generally it is a specification of Java which acts as a bridge between the object oriented model and RDBMS. Okay, so actually, so I told you one example now. So if you want to convert, okay, if you want to convert your class as a table, then you have to use one specification, then you have to write in a, I mean, you have to write the code in a one particular format. That particular format, okay, that particular specification is known as the JPA kind of specification. Okay, so I mean, this is a specification, right? We don't have any functionality. Okay, which is a generally specification is nothing but a explaining some theory. So we have to write like this, we have to write like this. Okay, specification is I mean, is nothing but a kind of a set of rules, we can say. Okay, specification is nothing but a set of rules. Okay, it has a rules, but it doesn't has a any functionality, it doesn't have a any syntax. Okay, so to implement this particular specification, we need a ORM tools. Okay, to implement, okay, to implement a JPA standard specification, we need a ORM tools. Okay, Java ORM tools. Okay, ORM stands for, what stands for ORM?
Object or relational mapping.
Very good. So ORM stands for object, object relational map. Okay, so generally, okay, this ORM implements the specification. Okay, generally ORM is a specific, I mean functionality, I can say. ORM is a functionality which is used to, or yeah, which is used to, okay, what I'm writing here, which is used to develop. Okay, so which is used to develop and maintain a relationship between object and database by mapping an object state to the column. Okay, so here if you want to establish a one relationship between object and database, okay, so if you want to insert one row in the database, then you have to create a one object for a class in Java. Okay, if you create a one object for Java, then it acts as a, that particular object acts as a, okay, row in a table. Okay, so here we can say ORM is a functionality which is used to develop and maintain a relation between, okay, relation between something like, I can say, relationship between, what can I say, object object and database by mapping each other, by mapping object state to database column. ORM is a one functionality. So the functionality implements the specification. Okay, the functionality implements the specification. Okay, so that's why we are saying, okay, Hibernate is a one ORM tool which implements the specification defined by the JPA. Okay, so I mean, this is a functionality, right? ORM is a functionality, so we need a one particular language to write. Okay, so we have a structure, we have a algorithm, so we need a one language to implement the algorithm. Okay, those languages are, okay, those we have different tools like to implement ORM. So we have the iconic Hibernate, Hibernate, and top link. Okay, we have Hibernate, Hibernate, top link. Okay, these are the some ORM tools. Okay, we can use Hibernate also. Okay, I mean, to implement the ORM specification, Hibernate is also one of the good framework. But so compared to Hibernate, Hibernate has a lot of features. Okay, so that's why we are going to learn Hibernate for sure. Okay, guys, did you spot the difference between JPA, Hibernate, and ORM tools? Did you find the difference? Did you understand the difference between those three? Hibernate is not equal to JPA. JPA is not equal to ORM. All of these three are the different things. Okay, please understand the difference between Hibernate, JPA, and ORM. Most of the people are confusing here. Actually, what is, I mean, JPA is a Hibernate. Huh? So what is the difference between JPA or Hibernate? JPA is a specification. Hibernate is a implementation of that particular specification. Okay, do you know? I mean, so I can give you another example for the specification and implementation. So, do you know ES6? Anybody? ES6. Did you hear about ES6 anywhere? Okay. So, did you hear about ECMAScript? Anybody? Did you hear about ECMAScript? So generally, ECMAScript is a specification. Okay, ECMAScript is a specification. To implement the ECMAScript specification, we have one language called JavaScript. Okay, but lot of people, okay, there is a lot of people in the world and who are working in IT also. They are confusing. They are messing up with these things. Okay, ES6 is nothing but a JavaScript. No, Okay, ES6 is a specification. JavaScript is a functionality to implement that particular specification. And also similar to that, okay, JPA is a specification. We need a functionality to implement the specification. So we are using Hibernate as a functionality to implement the specification of JPA. JavaScript is a functionality to implement the specification of ES6 ECMAScript. Okay, so there is a difference between specification and functionality. Okay, specification is nothing but a set of rules. So functionality is nothing but a writing the coding. Okay, implementing the coding by following the rules. Okay, guys, are you clear about JPA, Hibernate, and ORM tools? Guys, hello.
Yes, sir.
Any doubts? Boys
No,
and
sir.
girls? Nishant, Priyanshu, Rahul, Ketan,
No, sir.
Prashant. It's clear, right, for everyone. We have to understand the difference. Okay, Hibernate, JPA, ORM tools.
Sir, we are implementing specification by using HQL language.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to write SQL queries, if you want to modify the content of the table, then you have to write the HQL. HQL is the part of Hibernate. Hibernate and HQL is not same.
Okay,
Okay,
sir. Okay, sir.
HQL is the part of Hibernate. There is lot of features other than HQL in Hibernate. So I mean, I can draw something here. Hmm, open MS Paint. I can draw something here. Hmm, okay, we have this, and yes, we have this, and what can I use? Okay, I'm using this thing. Okay, we are having this. Okay, do you know what are these things? We have three things, na? Do you know what are these three things?
Shape.
Abba, give him a big round of applause. Who is that? Rahul? Who is that?
Circle, rectangle, and
Hmm?
pentagon.
No, no, it's not a shape. Okay, so yeah, so this is a one greatest diagram. Okay, I'll explain this thing. So here, okay, so this circle is a Java application. Okay, so assume this circle is a Java application. Okay, so coming to this, okay, can you guess this thing now? Rahul, it's not a shape now.
Database. Database.
Yes, very good. See, database, and I can increase the font of the database to something like 20. Okay, database. And what is the middle one?
API.
Mm,
JPA.
yeah,
JPA.
you know. Okay, no need to discuss the
Hibernate.
Hibernate now. Yes, obviously. Actually, this is the ORM tool. ORM. Okay, this is actually an ORM tool. Okay, so ORM tool. Okay, so we needed some language to the ORM tool, so we can call this thing as a Hibernate. Right. Okay, so we have a Java application and we have a database. Okay, ORM will be the okay middleware between the Java application and okay database. Mm, yeah. Okay, so we can I mean by using Hibernate we can combine the Java application with the database. Okay, so now okay we are using the JDBC na. We are using the JDBC which is used to communicate with the database and Java application, right? So what is the difference? What is the difference between Hibernate and JDBC? Did you find any difference?
Yes, sir. I think we no need to create table separately.
Okay, obviously that is one of the main difference. Very good. Any
You
other
said
thing?
that it is decreased to help lines of code.
Yes, okay, we can say. Yeah. Hmm. After that,
So Hibernate doesn't use SQL.
yes, obviously, very good. Internally it uses, but we don't need to write the SQL queries. Very good. And Nishant, you are saying something. Yeah, we can write our Java defined queries. That means HQL. Okay, in the place of SQL queries, we can write the HQL queries. Okay, so and we can implement the features, something like inheritance. Okay, we can implement. I mean, we can create an object and we can directly place it in the okay table record. Okay, so it is very easy to match the. I mean, so we can directly write a Java in the database. Okay, so we are directly writing Java in a one particular DBMS, database management system, to fetch the data, to retrieve the data, to anything. Okay, so these are the major differences between the Hibernate and JDBC that you already know. Very good. So now let's create an Hibernate basic project with the Hibernate to retrieve the data or to add the data for anything. Okay, so shall we create a basic Hibernate project? So before creating that, okay, obviously before creating any Hibernate project, okay, we need to know, I mean, different things. We need to know the terminologies. Okay, we need to know the terminologies to understand the practical thing. Okay, so we have some important terminology in the we have some important terminology in the Hibernate. Okay, so let's discuss those terminologies. Okay, what are the terminologies and all? ECMAScript and JavaScript, I love them. I love the ECMAScript speeches. So we have a Java 8 now. So similarly, ECMAScript has a 2016 version. Okay, ECMAScript 2016 is a one of the revolutionary concepts of JavaScript. We have a lot of features in the JavaScript. I mean, we got them in ECMAScript 2016. So one of the greatest, I mean, programming language or scripting language, you can say. Okay, so terms to be used. Okay, terms in the Hibernate. So when we are saying the terms, okay, so we need to understand the session factory. The first term we need to know is the session factory. Okay, session factory. So generally, okay, it is an interface. Okay, so basically this session factory is an interface. Okay, it provides, okay, it provides the uh, connection to the client. Okay, so it provides the connection to us. Okay, so I can write something like uh, how can I write? So assume, okay, client is a database. Okay, assume client is a MySQL. So we are starting one session. Okay, so we are starting one session. So in this particular session, we want to communicate with the database. Okay, so right now we are in one session, and we want to communicate with the database in our session. So okay, we need a one connection to communicate. Okay, we need a one connection to communicate. Those connection is provided by the session factory. Okay, so the session factory is an interface, okay, which provides the uh, what can I write is connection between the session and the client. Okay, which provides a connection between the session and client. Okay, so coming to the session, okay, we are using the sessions now. So the session is an object, okay, which provides an interface to the application. Actually, we are writing the application, Java application. We are writing Java coding now to store the data, to retrieve the data, to anything, to I mean to perform the operations in the, okay, in the database. So this session object provides the interface to us to communicate with the database, okay, by using our Java application. So session session is an object, okay, which provides an interface, okay, which provides an um interface between the,
Connecting with database.
yeah, between the Java app, to the database. Okay, session is an object which provides an interface between the Java application to the database. Okay, so and it has lot of methods. Okay, something like, it has methods like insert, update, delete. Okay, we can have the methods here: insert, update, delete. So basic CRUD operations. Okay, CRUD operation. So this is a one session. Session is an object and session factory is a interface. Remember, sorry. Okay, sorry. Hmm. So okay, sorry for the trouble. Hmm. So let's start. So the next important one is we have transaction. Okay, um, so for example, Uh, okay, so we have a Rahul. Okay, so Rahul we have in our class. Okay, I want to send some money from my account to Rahul account. Okay, I want to send some money to my account to Rahul account. Okay, by using phone pay or something. Okay, there I have to initiate one particular transaction. Okay, so I have to initiate one particular transaction. Okay, if my transaction was successful, okay, if my transaction was successful, then the particular amount, okay, so if I want to send them 10,000 rupees to the Rahul, okay, the 10,000 rupees have to debit and update itself into the my account, right? So okay, so when we are doing some transactions with database, okay, when we are doing some transaction with databases or something like, if you want to insert one data, okay, one if you want to insert one row into the table, then we have to begin the transaction. After completion of the inserting a row into the database, we have to commit it, we have to save the particular transaction. Okay, so transaction is a something which provides an interface to, something like, transaction management, okay, which provides an methods for the transaction management. Okay, if I want to revoke, okay, if I want to revoke my transaction, which has a method. If I want to commit the transaction, if I want to save the transaction, we have a method. So, okay, if you are uh, if you are doing any transactions with the database, so we must begin a transaction. Okay, after completion of the transaction, we have to save it. Okay, after successful insertion, after successful deletion, we have to save the transaction, right? So I mean, in the meanwhile of beginning the transaction and saving the transaction, we can complete our operation. Okay, so transaction, how can I write this? Hmm, transaction um, is an interface. Transaction is an interface. How can I write this? uh, which provides methods methods for transaction management. So which provides a method for transaction management, like begin the transaction, begin, submit, and execute. Okay, and okay, the final one, the important one, we need a one connection provider. Okay, so we have a lot of we need to connect with the database with our username. We are having the username to our database, we are having some password. Okay, we need a special URL, we need a port number. Okay, we need a driver. Okay, we need a lot of things to to communicate with the database, which we did it in the JDBC programs now. So here we have a one connection provider, connection provider. Okay, so this connection provider is a factory. Okay, it has lot of JDBC connections. Okay, so it abstracts the application from the driver manager. Okay, it abstracts the application from the driver manager. So did you remember anything? Okay, when we are writing the programs in JDBC, we are getting the connection from driver manager, right? So here we are abstracting the application from the driver manager to get the connection. Okay, so I can say something like, it is a factory of JDBC connections. It is a factory of JDBC connections. It abstracts the application from driver manager. So driver manager is the main class to get a connection in the JDBC. Okay, here we are abstracting that particular driver manager class by using our connection provider. Okay, so these are the four important things that you have to know before starting our, okay, uh, our practical with the Hibernate. Okay, so here we can use this particular connection provider as a configuration. Okay, we have some configuration methods. Okay, so actually when we are writing the JDBC program so we are using connection con equal to something. Okay, but here we have to use the configuration config equal to something. Okay, so connection con equal to driver manager dot get connection and so on, so right. So here we have to write something like configuration new config equal to, okay, so and so. Okay, we will discuss those things later. Okay, so we have to use the configuration to get the connection to the database. Okay, internally we use some JDBC technique. Internally, not externally, we are not writing any JDBC thing. Okay, internally it uses JDBC, okay, to connect database. Okay, so let's create a one basic program, one basic project to insert some data into the database, or to insert some, okay, something into the database. Okay, so before doing that, I am opening my database. Okay, we have so many tables na, so I want to drop those tables. Okay, so actually, so databases, four tables. First we need to know. Okay, and we have something like use Maybe detect. Sorry. Okay. Tables in managed deep tech is we have banking, we have deep tech employee, we have deep tech employee address. Okay. So actually we have EMP EX and EMP image now. So I want to drop those tables. Okay. So drop EMP EMP IMG. Okay. Mm, Drop table I think. Drop table EMP IMG. Okay. So I want to drop the table. And now, okay, we want to know the tables we have. Okay, see EMP IMG deleted. Now I want to delete EMPX also. Okay, now I want to show the tables. Okay, right now we have three different tables. Okay, so we don't have any table like employee. Okay, so I want to create an employee table by using our Java application. Okay, see we are not having any table, I mean we are not having any table named employee in Anajib Deep Tech. Remember this. Okay, we are going to create the table by using our Hibernate application. Okay, see let's open the Spring Tool suite. I think I already opened this. Okay, we have so many projects, huh? So let's create a new project here. So search for Maven. Okay, we have to create a Maven project and click on the next. So we are using same the location and we have to use same quick start. Okay, we have to use same quick start. And here we have to write something like slot one Hibernate. Okay, slot one Hibernate and the package name is com.slot one slot one Hibernate. Okay, click on the finish. So we have slot one Hibernate. Okay, see, we have so many things. And obviously we need to open pom.xml for sure, right? So we need to open pom.xml here. Okay, so before doing all these things, okay, before doing all these things, actually, okay, we need a one configuration file and we need a so many Hibernate files. Okay, so okay, actually in our Eclipse environment, okay, so obviously Spring Tools is a environment of Eclipse. Okay, so if you are using an Eclipse software or if you are using Spring Tools, okay, so to Spring Tools, so we have to install Hibernate plugin. Okay, we have to install Hibernate plugin. Okay, so we have to do so many things. Okay, we have to, okay, add the dependency of the Hibernate first. Okay, so I mean, let me write those things. Steps to create Hibernate project. Oh, because this is a new thing, right? So let's note down the every step. Okay, so the first step is add, God, create Maven application. Okay, you know how to create the Maven application, and in the pom.xml add Hibernate dependency along with, okay, we need a connector na. So in the JDBC we are using the SQL connector, right? SQL connector J. So add SQL connector also, because if you want to communicate with the database we need a connector for sure. Okay, so add, okay, SQL connector and Hibernate and update Java also, update JRE 70. So this is the second step. Okay, so let's complete the second step, then we can discuss the third step. Okay, so here we need to add our, okay, Maven dependencies for Hibernate core. Okay, let's go to the new tab. Okay, here we have to type Maven Hibernate core dependency. Okay, so we have so many Hibernates, we have so many versions of Hibernate cores. Okay, see we have so many files. Okay, see actually the sixth version, okay, the sixth version of okay Hibernate, okay, very few people are using. See, you can see the usages 0, 3, 6, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, these are the new things. Okay, these are the new versions. Okay, I don't want to use any new versions. Okay, so actually these are the existing versions. See, okay, so you can see the difference. So this is a 6-month one is a final. Okay, this is the alpha versions, beta versions. Okay, beta and alpha versions that you already know, I think so. In the Play Store, we have something like beta version, alpha version. Okay, like like those are the testing things. Okay, they introduced them, but they didn't release officially. Okay, so that's why I'm using. Okay, okay, guys, give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Okay, sorry. So okay, so sixth version is a completely okay. The testing versions they didn't release. That's why I don't want to use the sixth version. Okay, so I'm going to use 5.6.11, which is a recent. See, 5.6.11 is released in August 30, 2022, which is a very recent. I think it is about 16 days or 17 days. No, so either you can use 5.6.10 or you can use 5.6.11, anything. So I'm using 5.6.11, okay, which is a recent one. Okay, so copy the dependency from here. Okay, see this is the dependency we have. Okay, have to copy this, copy and paste it in the dependencies list. Okay, this is the one of the dependency for the Hibernate 5.6.11 Hibernate core. Okay, see actually you can see okay Maven dependencies now. See lot of files are downloaded automatically. Okay, Hibernate core is downloaded, Hibernate commons, JBoss, so many things is downloaded automatically. Okay, okay, we need that. Now now we need to okay add connector, SQL connector na? So type SQL connector here, SQL connector J. Okay, this is the thing we are adding now. So we need SQL connector J. Okay, so you can use something like 8.0 or 0.0.0. I mean, which version? Do you remember which version we are using? Which version of I mean SQL driver we are using? What?
8.0.28.
8.0.0. Okay, this one. Okay, 329 numbers we have. Okay, we can use the same thing. Wire is and paste it in the okay form.xml. Now you can see okay. So in the Maven dependencies, we have so many things and search for MySQL connector also. Okay, here we have MySQL connector J 8.0.28. Okay, now we want to update our Java JDK version. Okay, see here we have 1.5 version by default, and we need to upload. I mean, we need to change that. Uh, Maven, sorry, compiler source code. Mm, we don't have these things. Okay, let's search for the Google. Maven compiler, okay, plugin source target. The source of Java compiler, which is Maven compiler source and Maven compiler target. Copy these two things. You need to update this in the properties. Okay, okay, and it is 17. 1.8, it's 17. Now we need to update the project. Okay, update this thing. Okay, see, updated. Java SC17 is updated. Okay. Now, okay, actually, we have to go to the third step now. So I think I have some issues here. Notice the issues. I don't want to see any issues in my. Okay, forget that. Okay, so actually we have slot one Hibernate, slot one Hibernate. So in this slot one Hibernate, okay, so we need to create Hibernate files. Okay, we need to create the Hibernate files. Okay, so okay, permission for that. Okay, so first we need to add, okay, um, one particular, for example, okay, see, I want to create a table like employee. So where I want to add, okay, where I want to add, in, I mean, some columns, okay, as employee ID and string, the employee name, and string, employee salary, okay, and sorry, the employee domain, I think. Okay, you can add employee domain and string, sorry, it is an integer. Employee salary is an integer. Employee salary. Okay, so this is the model I want to create. Okay, I want to create a table like this. Okay, so here we have to create a file na? So we have to create a one Java file na? So here, okay, right click on the src main, because we in the src main only we are going to create the all the files, right? So here in the src main, okay, go to the new and click on the class. Okay, here we need to create a one class called employee. Okay, I want to create a class called employee and click on the finish. Okay, hello, what happened to this? Okay, so we have an employee class and also we have an app file. Okay, we have one main method also. Okay, so here actually we want to create some columns, right? So we are using something like getters and setters. Okay, so that's why I'm creating some private variables. Okay, I don't want to any, I mean, so I don't want to do for a free reason. Okay, so if anybody wants to print the variable, they have to call the method. Okay, I don't want to print directly, so that's why I'm creating the private variables here. Okay, so private variable int employee id and the private something like string employee name, a private string employee domain. Okay, and we need another private variable private int employee salary. Okay, we have a four variables now. Okay, we have four instance variables, and I already told you every instant variable is must be a private, because okay, if you have an instance values, you need to call the methods. Okay, if you want to print those values from outside, okay, you need to call the methods. So okay, if you want to print the values and set the values, we need a getters and setters now. So how to implement getters and setters for this? Okay, we can implement directly without writing any code. Right click on the editor and go to the source and click on the generate getters and setters. Okay, select everyone and click on the generate. Okay, we have now we have setters and getters. Okay, save this. And if I want to retrieve the details, okay, if I want to retrieve the details, I need another method. That another method is known as toString method. If I want to print all the values in a one method na, so I can call toString method. Okay, so toString and click on the generate. Okay, so this is the toString method which is working somewhere. Okay, so this is the model I have. Okay, this is the model file I have. See, we have a one model file. Now, okay, now we need to set the configuration, right? We need to communicate with the database. We need to specify the URL of the database. We need to specify so many things, right? So here, okay, if you want to specify the if you want to specify the configuration to the database, actually, okay, in the get connection method, we are writing something like, URL, okay, MySQL, JDBC, localhost 3306, and the name of the database, and we are specifying the password, and we are specifying the username. Okay, we are doing so many things, right? So we have to do those things here also, but we can do that by a separate file. Okay, by a separate file. Okay, so here we need to create. Okay, the third step is, okay, this is the model, right? Create a model like employee. We need to create a model like this. The fourth step is important. Okay, we need to add Hibernate plugin. Okay, we need to add Hibernate plugin to STS. Okay, or Eclipse. We need to add Hibernate plugin to our, okay, Spring Boot tool suite or our Eclipse. Okay, we need to add that. Okay, so let's open our tool suite. Okay, here, okay, we have so many methods and options now. So here in the navigation bar, you can click on the help. Okay, click on the help and go to the Eclipse marketplace. Okay, go to Eclipse marketplace. Click on the Eclipse marketplace. Okay, so it may take some time. Okay, this is Eclipse marketplace. Okay, so here we need to add Hibernate, right? We need to add Hibernate. Nah? So here you can search for Hibernate in the find method. Okay, we have one option called find. There you can type Hibernate. Okay, so it may take some time because it is completely based on your system and internet. Okay, okay, see here. Here you can type Hibernate. When you search for the Hibernate, you will have a different types of options. Okay, we need to add a plugin like this. Wait for a few minutes. Okay, so we have so many Hibernate tools. See, okay, Hibernate is installed. Hibernate tools is installed. Actually, we need to install JBoss application. Okay, so search for the JBoss. Okay, here you can see the JBoss tool 4.24.0, right? So when you use this particular thing, okay, actually I already installed in my laptop. Okay, so here you can click on the, okay, install button. When you click on the install button, all the files of Hibernate is got downloaded automatically. Okay, and you can click on the install, and it's installed automatically. No need to do anything. Okay, so you can directly click on something. Okay, okay, so don't install this particular Hibernate tools in the go. You can directly install, okay, JBoss tools. In the JBoss tools we have so many things. See, okay, in the JBoss tool, JBoss tools is an umbrella for the project set of Eclipse plugins. Okay, support for JBoss related technologies such as Hibernate, JBoss, Wildify, OpenShift, Apache Camel, Redboss. Okay, we have so many things. Okay, so when you click on the install, just select Hibernate tool. Okay, it has Hibernate and so many other features also. Don't install other things because it may require lot of RAM and lot of space in your computer. So when you clicked on the install, okay, it will ask you for the different types of different types of files. Okay, please unselect all the files and select only Hibernate related files. Okay, so when Hibernate is appeared on the one file, na? So I think there is a three different files named as Hibernate in the particular this JBoss tool. Okay, you can select those three things and click on the finish or click on the next. Okay, it will download automatically. Okay, so you have to add Hibernate plugin by using the JBoss only, JBoss tools 4.2.0. Okay, search for Hibernate in the find method. Okay, so how to open this marketplace? Okay, you can open the marketplace from by clicking on the help. Okay, click on the help, click on the marketplace. So here in the find, okay, we have a find option. Here in the find option, you can search for Hibernate. Okay? Mm, okay, here you can search for Hibernate. Enter. It will show you the different files. Okay, don't install Hibernate tools Indigo. When you install Hibernate from JBoss, it is automatically got installed. Okay, so click on the JBoss. See, you can see the number of installations also. Okay, this particular thing, okay, 126k people installed. Okay, and this 15k installed. This Hibernate Helios installed by 17k people. Rapid Eclipse installed by only 1 point. Okay, only 1200 members installed this thing. And coming to the JBoss, okay, you can see 1.35 million. Okay, 1.35 million people installed this JBoss. So that's why we are using JBoss. Okay, so just install the JBoss, and when you click on the install, it will ask for the different files. So please unselect every file and select the Hibernate files. Okay, I think there will be 3 to 4 files which is named as the Hibernate. Okay, you can select the name. Okay, so and click on the next, and all the things is got to install. Okay, it's like a basic software installation. Okay, I think you are really well aware of that, how to install the software. Okay, so after successful installation, okay, I mean the installation will take at least 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, installation will take at least 5 to 10 minutes for sure. Okay, so after successful installation, okay, after successful installation, now you can click on the file. You can click on the file here, click on the new, and go to the other files. Here, go to the other files. Okay, here you can search for Hibernate. Okay, here you can search for Hibernate. So when you search for Hibernate, you have a different files: Hibernate configuration file, console configuration, reverse engineering, XML mapping file. Okay, actually we need, okay, configuration file. Okay, so we need a configuration to connect our database, right? So here you can click on the Hibernate configuration file. Okay, and click on the next. Okay, see, don't change the name of the Hibernate file. Okay, so Hibernate configuration file name must be the Hibernate cfg.xml. Don't change the file name. If you change the file name, you have to write the different syntax in the configuration method. Okay, so don't change the file name. Make sure you are having the file name as hibernate.cfg.xml. Okay, now you can click on the next. Okay, here we have so many things. Okay, database dialect. Okay, so many things. Okay, it is asking you to enter the some, you know, some session factory or something. Don't use that. Okay, so here you can click on the database dialect. Okay, click on the drop down. Okay, you will have different types of databases. Okay, you can select your database type. So we are using MySQL. We are using something like MySQL or MySQL 5. Okay, I can select MySQL. Select MySQL only. By, okay, so I mean I don't want to select MySQL. Select MySQL 5 because we are using MySQL 5. Okay, okay, select MySQL 5 and click on the driver class. We have to select our driver class. Hey, when you are clicking on the, okay, this is not the one. Okay, we are using something different, right? Okay, guys, give me a moment. Uh, Select MySQL first. Now driver class. Okay, we have a driver class. Okay, our driver class must be. I think you remember the name of the driver that we are using. com.mysql.cj.jdbc driver. Okay, actually it is not giving the CJ because CJ is a new updated one. So it is offering only JDBC. We can change it CJ. We can add CJ later. Okay, select com.mysql.jdbc driver. Okay, here we need to, okay, mention the connection URL. Connection URL type is, okay, this one, jdbc.mysql, and here we have localhost. and our port number is 3306. I think you remember that. 3306 is the port number, and we have to name our database. Our database name is Anadeep Deep Tech. Anadeep Deep Tech. Okay. So here no need to specify the default schema, default catalog, no need to specify anything. And here we have to specify the username. Click on the username. Type your username is root by default, right? And you have to give your password. 905906 is my password. Okay. And now click on the finish. Okay, so click on the finish. You have something different version. Okay, so here, okay, you can click on, here you have another menu, session factory security source. Okay, don't do anything, click on the source. Okay, so click on the source. So here, okay, here, okay, so actually our driver name is com.mysql.cj.jdbc. Did you remember the driver name? Anyone? Guys, what is the driver name?
Yes, sir. Com
com.mysql.
dot cj dot
Hmm,
jdbc dot
yeah,
driver.
cj.jdbc driver. And here actually we are using MySQL 5. Okay, use MySQL 5 dialect. Okay, MySQL 5 dialect. Okay, so here you can write the MySQL 5. Okay, so this is how you need to set the configuration. See, we are having configuration in a different way. It's not like a JDBC. Okay, we are having a separate configuration file in the Hibernate. Okay, boys, did you understand how to setting the configuration file? Hello, guys, any doubts in creating configuration file?
No, sir.
Okay, very good. What about others? Nishant, Prashant, Priyanshu, Sandeep,
No, sir.
Yes,
clear,
sir.
right? Okay. So this is how we need to set the configuration. Okay, so here, okay, come to the app. Okay, here we have to implement our own code. Okay, this is a main method now, so here we have to write our own code, okay, to communicate with the database. So first one, okay, I want to add one employee. Okay, I want to add one employee in the database. Okay, so I want to add one employee to the database. So here let's create an object for employee. The employee e1 equal to new employee. Okay, and employee will have some values, right? Employee have employee id, okay, so and so values we have. So here you can mention e1 dot set employee id, employee name, all these things. Set employee id, employee id will be something like 101. Okay, and e1 dot set employee name. Employee name is something like obviously Bhaskar. Okay, I think some of the people getting bored with Bhaskar name, so I can rename this to Bachi. Okay. E1 dot set domain. Here we have to set the domain. Obviously, our domain is Java, and here now E1 dot set employee salary. Okay, here we have to set the salary of an employee 44,000. Hey, 44,000. Okay. So we have an employee. Now we want to add these employee details. Okay? We want to add these employee details into the database, right? So here, okay, we want to do something. So do you have any table called employee in your database? Do you have any table, ma? See,
No,
do
sir.
we have any tables? Okay, we don't have any tables. So come back to the employee class. Okay, we need to create a table with the name of employee, right? So here, okay, inform this
Sir,
as
your
a
voice is
native.
not coming properly.
My voice. Suddenly, I don't know what happened with voice or something. Hmm, got to change. Pin is also passed on. Oh, okay, I'm having a low signal. Okay, let me do one thing. Okay. Yeah, I'm at the Wi-Fi meter, but it is low. Guys, is this okay?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. So actually, we want to create this employee table as a, I mean, sorry, we want to create this employee class as a table, right? So here we can mention it as a entity. Okay, this as a entity. So we have to import the entity from Hibernate. Okay, so import Hibernate annotations. Okay. Uh-oh. Import entity from Java persistence. Okay. Java persistence. Okay. Import this. Yeah. So import. See, we have two options in creating the entity. Okay, importing. Okay, entity from persistence API. Importing. Okay, from I mean something Hibernate API. Okay, so import from persistent API. Okay, JPA standards we are doing now. So we are creating a JPA standard project. So that's why we have to import. Okay, entity from the Java persistence. Okay, so here, okay, and I want to create my thing. I mean, I want to create employee ID because employee ID as a, okay, primary key na. So here you can mention the ID at the rate ID. Okay, so I'm mentioning at the rate ID from the persistence, import ID from the persistence. Okay, so we have mentioned entity and ID here. Okay, and come back to the app. Okay, come back to the app. So here we need to set the configuration. Actually, we set the, okay, credentials for our configuration, but we didn't set our configuration, right? So we can set our configuration. I already told you na. So here, okay, so we can get a connection, okay, by using the connection provider. Okay, we can use the connection provider with the name of configuration. Okay, so here, okay, I'm writing configuration, configuration config or C1 or anything. So we have to import this configuration from Hibernate config. Okay, here we can mention, okay, here we can mention new configuration. Okay, dot, sorry, new configuration dot. Here we have to mention configure. Okay, we are configuring the class. Okay, configure. Okay, here we have to add the class name. Okay, so what is our table name? What will be our table name? Employee Java. I mean, we want to create our employee file as a table name. Na? So here we have to add one annotated class with the name of the employee. Okay, so here we can create an employee.class file. Employee.class. Okay, so we have some configuration now. Okay, we have some configuration. So here, by using this configuration, okay, we have to build a session factory. Okay, we have to build session factory. I already told you, no, so we cannot directly create a session factory before. We cannot create an object for session factory directly because session factory is an interface. Okay, it is not a class. Session factory is an interface, so we need another object reference. So here we are taking the object reference of config to create the session factory. Okay, so here I can mention session factory sf equal to, okay, configuration dot build session factory. Okay, yeah, build session factory. This is the method. Now we have to import this session factory from Uh, we can import from or I mean Hibernate org.hibernate. Okay. Now we have a session factory, right? So after having the session factory, what we have to have, we have to add session. Okay, I mean the session method is providing the methods like insert and delete and something, right? So here, okay, we need a session object from the session factory. Okay, session ses equal to sf. Okay, sf dot, we need a session, right? So that's why I'm opening a session, opening one session here. Okay, we have to import the session from import the session from Hibernate again. Okay, import the session from Hibernate. Okay, so here, okay, so we have a session. Okay, we have a session, right? So here, okay, I want to start my transaction. Okay, I want to start my transaction. Okay, so how to start a transaction? So you already mentioned, okay, if you want to perform any transactions with between Java application and database. So here I want to, okay, insert my row, I want to insert my object. Okay, we want to insert our object. Okay, we want to insert this object, right? So actually here we have to start the transaction. Action. F equal to F equal to session dot begin transaction. Mm, okay, so actually spelling mistake. Okay, we have to import the transaction from, okay, obviously the Hibernate library. Okay, so we have started our transaction now. Okay, we started our transaction and we have our employee also. Okay, we have a transaction and we have a employees, so I can save my employee in the database. Okay, so here I can save the employee by using session object. I already told you, no, session object is having, okay, all the methods like insert, update, delete, right? So here I can write session dot save, session dot save, and e1 is our object. Okay, e1 is our object. So I'm saving the session, I'm saving the object in the database. Okay, after saving, after completion of the transaction, what we have to do? After completion of the transaction we have to do something, right? What to do? We have to
Update.
yeah, we have to save the transaction. Okay, so we can save the transaction by using transaction dot commit. Okay, transaction dot commit, actually it is tf, sorry, tf dot commit. Okay, so I'm saving the transaction now. Okay, now we are all set to launch. Okay, we are all set to launch. So just run this file. Okay, just run this file. Okay, app.java, run this file as a Java application and click on the OK. Now you can see the console. The starting session is started. Okay, so we are having some exceptions. So what is the exception? You can see, okay, table Anudeep deep tech employee does not exist. Okay, we have one error. Okay, deep, employee in the Anudeep deep tech, we don't have any employee table. Okay, but actually we thought, okay, we thought Hibernate is going to create a one table, right? But it is not creating a table. Okay, it is not creating a table. So again we have to, okay, create a table in the SQL. So here, okay, no need to go to the SQL. Okay, we can create the table. We can ask Hibernate to create a table if the table is not exist. Okay, so we can, okay, direct the Hibernate. Okay, if table is not exist na, so if table is not exist, you can create the table. Why you're asking me? Okay, we can guide the Hibernate to create a table, right? So we can guide the Hibernate to create a table by using one property. So again we have to go back to the configuration file. So here we have a configuration file. So here we have to add one property here. Okay, so let's type for property. Okay, so here we can write a one property which is named as HBM. Okay, Hibernate mapping to DD. Sorry, HBM to DDL. Okay, this is the property name. So here we want to create the table, right? We want to create the table. So let's add create here. Okay, I'm giving the create option here. Okay, so actually we created the table now. Okay, we asked him to create the table. Okay, so now again let's run the file. Now we can see what will happen. Again we are having Anudeep employee. Okay, okay. So I think everything is fine, but it is not creating the table. Okay, I think I messed up with the Hibernate file. Here we have to mention dot auto. I forgot to mention dot auto. So here we are asking him to create a table automatically, right? We are asking him to create a table automatically. So we need to specify that. Okay, and we need a app file here and run this app file again and go to the console now. So many things are happening. Okay, so yes, it is paused. It is paused. Okay, no, I mean it does not showing any error to us. Okay, it does not showing any error. Okay, now let's go to the okay this thing and ask I mean ask the SQL to show the tables. Now you can see, okay, Anujib Deep Tech has one employee table. Anujib Deep Tech has one employee table now. Actually, we didn't create any employee table. Nah. So let's see what is the things inside the employee table. Select star from employee. Select star from employee. Now run this. See, we have okay employee 101 Java Bachi 45,000. Okay, see that's what we gave here. Okay, so this is the thing 101 Bachi Java 45,000 101 45,000. So I want to see the description of how it is created the table. I want to see the description. Okay, DESC employee, how it assigned the table, how it created the table. Let's see. See, okay, employee ID is a primary key. Okay, so here we actually mentioned, okay, at the rate ID na by default. Okay, so we have to mention our IDs. Okay, ID must be the primary key anytime. Okay, you can create anything. Okay, if you are having ID in your table, okay, that ID must be the unique. Okay, remember this. So that's why okay we mentioned at the rate ID. Okay, so here, okay, so employee ID is an primary key and the employee domain varchar and employee name is varchar, employee salary is an integer. Do we mention these things? Do we mention these things? No, actually no. Okay. So, but it created the values, it created the different columns based on these things. See, okay, we have employee ID, it created employee ID. Okay, we have employee name, it created employee name. We have employee domain, it created employee domain. Okay, employee salary, we have employee salary created. Okay, automatically the variables of your class file is converted into your columns of a table. Okay, so this is the Java persistence API. Okay, this is the JPA standard project. Okay, so that's why we mentioned entity from the Java persistence. Okay, we mentioned entity from Java persistence. So we successfully okay implemented the JPA specification program. Okay, this is a very simple project to insert one value. Okay, now let's add, okay another value into the table. Okay, so I'm adding 102 and let's add something like Jack, and who is working in AWS and who is having salary of 35,000. Okay, okay, now I have values like this. Okay, now you can run the values. Okay, go to the console. Okay, so console does not show anything, right? So here I am going to this particular SQL file. Okay, I want to print the values of employee table. Okay, so actually we have, okay, we have the employee table, but did you notice one thing? Okay, Bachi is deleted. We have only 102 AWS Jack and 35,000. See, I mean, Jack is deleted. Why Jack is deleted? Do you know? I mean, why Bachi is deleted? Do you know? Okay, actually, Bachi is deleted because we are creating the new table every time. Okay, we asked him. Okay, so we asked him to create a table, na? So we asked him to create a table, so that's why it is creating a table every time. Okay, if you want to see the SQL property, you can write on property here. Property equal to name, show SQL uh, true. Okay, let's see what is happening inside of this particular table. Okay, what is happening, and when we are running this app file, some SQL command is running internally, na? See, okay, what is happening? See, you can see here. Okay, Hibernate is drop the table if exists. Okay, if employee exists, na, it is dropping the table. Okay, it drops the table. That means it deleting the table. Okay, and after deleting the table, it creates a new table. Create a table employee, EMP ID, EMP domain, EMP name, and EMP salary. And after okay creating the table, it is inserting the values into the table. Okay, this is what happening inside of a Hibernate. Actually, we don't want to delete the previous values, right? Actually, it deleted the Bhaskar. Okay, so I don't want to delete the previous values, but still, okay, I want to create a table. Okay, so you can do that by changing the value here. Okay, so actually this HBM, okay, I mean Hibernate, okay, is giving two options for us. Okay, it is giving create option and it is giving update option for us. Okay, you can write update also. Okay, so if you, I mean, if you mention create here, na, if the table is exist, okay, it it replace the table. Okay, it replace the table. Okay, if you use create value here in the property, okay, the create property, the create value replace the tables if the table already exists. Okay, but if you mention update, na, if the table is existed, it adds the content. It won't create a new table if table is existed. Okay, it will create a table if the table is not exist. Okay, so that's why I'm using update here. Now, okay, we are already having, okay, 102 jock, right? So I want insert my value again. Okay, I want to insert bachi again into the system, and here we have Java, and the value of Bachi is 45,000. Okay, and okay, after inserting, I want to print the, okay, just I want to print the Bachi value. Okay, so here I can directly write E1. Okay, I'm directly writing E1 because E1 is our object, right? So here you can see, run this and see what is happening inside the Hibernate. See, okay. Actually, when you use a create method, Hibernate is deleting the table, Hibernate is creating new table, right? But see, when we are using update option, okay, Hibernate is not creating anything. Okay, just Hibernate is using insert into employee. That's it. Okay, and we have the employee details here. Okay, now let's go to the database. Okay, let's check the further values. Okay, see, now we have, okay, 102 and 101 as Bhaskar and sorry Bachi and Java. Okay, this is how you need to create the table. You need to insert the values into the table by using the Hibernate. Okay, see, we are not using any select star from so and so, insert into so and so. We are not writing anything. We are just saving the details by using dot save method from session object. We are just saving like that. Okay, isn't it beautiful? Isn't it easy, right? It's very easy actually. Okay, so this is the way we have to insert the values. Okay, boys and girls, is this clear for everyone? To insert the values into
Yes,
the
sir.
table by using Hibernate, we are creating the new table and we are inserting the values into the table. Okay, okay, now let's go with the some other methods, how to retrieve the values, how to update the values, how to delete the values. We can have the discussion on those things today. Okay, So yeah, it is 11:45 almost. Okay, after coming from the break, we can have the discussion on the HQL part. Okay, how to retrieve the values, how to add the value. Okay, we can do that. Okay, chalo. Let's have a break for 15 minutes. After coming from the break, we can see updating the table details. Okay, so here I can mention one thing. Okay, so actually we are reading the values. We are directly assigning the values by ourselves, right? So if you want to read the values from the user, what should you do? Okay, if I want to read the employee ID, employee name, employee domain, and employee salary from the user, what should I use?
Scanner class.
Yes, obviously. So we need to use the scanner for sure. So let's create an object for scanner. Yes, scanner. So we need to import the scanner from utility packets. Okay. So here, let's read the values. Mm, the 20 ID. So int PID equal to h dot. So here you can mention the PID. Okay. I don't want to write for everything because you know the process. And let's run this code. Okay. No, sorry. I don't want to run this code. I want to change the names also. Sorry, the he is in .NET. He is having only 24. Okay, you have to enter the employee ID first. So I'm entering employee ID as a 103. Okay, so employee ID 103, name Joy and .NET salary. Okay, inserted into employee table. Now you can get the values from this thing. See, we have employee values 103, Joy, and employee domain and everything. Okay, we successfully inserted. So like this you can read the values from the user. Okay, I just read the employee ID from the user. You can just read the all the values from the user if you need. Okay, so this is how you need to read the values from the user. Okay, is this clear, boys? So shall we fetch the
Yes.
values?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so let's fetch the values. Okay, let's read the values from the database. Okay, we want to print the values. Okay, in the console. Okay, from the database to console. Okay, so here we can do that by using something called a get method. Okay, actually we are using set method to save the values, right? Sorry, save method to save the values into the database, right? So here you can use the get method. Okay, so actually we don't need all these things. Okay, so just remove everything. Okay, and I'm just commenting out this. Okay, actually I'm creating an employee as a employee object as a null. Okay, employee object as a null. Okay, because I want to read the employee value from the database, so that's why I created employee object as a null here. Okay, here we can after beginning the transaction. Okay, you have to begin the transaction for everything. Okay, here within the transaction, so I'm getting the values. Okay, actually v1 equal to employee 1 equal to, so we have to get the employee, right? So we have to get the employee. Okay, within the bracket you can mention the employee. Okay, so we have one method called get. Okay, we have one method called get. So here we have to mention which table. Okay, from which table you want to read the values. From employee table I want to read the values. Okay, actually it is employee, right? Okay, from employee table we want to read the value. So employee dot obviously the class. And okay, here you can give the primary key. Okay, so actually our ID, okay, employee ID is the primary key, and here I want to fetch the user who is having 101 as the ID. Okay, I want to read the user who is having 101 as a ID. Okay, and after reading the value from the database, okay, I'm just printing it. I'm just printing it. See, I'm just printing the value here. Okay, now let's run this code. See, okay, we are okay, we are getting the values 101 Bachi, mine is Java, and employee salary is something. Okay, see, okay, what is the command that Hibernate is using? The Hibernate is using select employee domain, okay, employee name, okay, see, so internally Hibernate is using the select command to select the value. Okay, it is using the select command to select the name. Okay, 102 is AWS. So this is how you need to okay write it. Okay, is everything okay, ma? Is everything clear? We are fetching the values by using the get method, by using the primary key of the table. Yeah, we are using the primary key of the table. See, 102 is the primary key because we mentioned it here at the rate ID. Okay, if you want to see what this at the rate ID is doing, okay, you can click here. Okay, see at the interface it is showing something. It has some code which is unreadable format. See, okay, at the rate ID specifies, okay, specifies the primary key of the field, okay, so. So this is how you need to fetch the values. We are fetching the all the things in the app file only. We are not touching employee file. We are not touching configuration file. We are doing the operations in only the okay app file. Okay, so actually if you want to print the values from the database, okay, in the JDBC we have to okay we have first we need to write a query. Okay, then we have to execute the query. After executing the query we will have a set of results. In the set of result we have to iterate. I mean that means we are using rs.next, right? Did you remember rs.next? Okay, so after rs.next, okay, um, we are fetching the values from the we are fetching the values like get integer, get method, or get string. Okay, we are doing such kind of things, but here we just okay read the employees and print the employees by using the two lines. Okay, within the two lines we fetch the values from the employee table. Okay, so we are directly printing the employee object here. See, you can see here we are directly printing the employee object. Okay, so like this you can okay read the values, I mean you can fetch the values. Okay, so right now so many people having the doubts, right? So many people having one important doubt. So we are fetching the values based on the primary key. So if I want to fetch the values based on the username, okay, if I want to fetch the values by using the username, if Bhaskar, I mean, so if the user enters Bhaskar, so we have to print the details of Bhaskar. If user enters Priyanshu, okay, we have to print the values of Priyanshu. Okay, we have to do something like that. So how to do that? Actually, we are using primary key to fetch the values, right? So here I want to use username to fetch the values. Okay, we want to fetch the values from the username. Okay, whenever you want to fetch the values by using the username, okay, we have to write something different. Okay, we have to write something indifferent. Okay, so it is the time to use HQL. So HQL. Okay, so HQL stands for Hibernate Query Language. Okay, if you want results, if you want to print some results, okay, based on the username, based on the domain or anything. Okay, so here you can mention one thing like this. Okay, okay, from employee. Okay, and we have to pass the reference for employee e where, okay, where e dot e name, okay, v dot, sorry, employee name e dot is equal to something like Bhaskar, something like Bhaskar. So we need to write this kind of a syntax. Okay, so we want to read this Bhaskar value from the user. So here we can pass the reference for the value. Okay, we can pass the reference by using the colon. Here you can I forgot set the parameter. I think so. Parameter, parameter. Yeah. So we can fetch the, I mean, the employee name. Okay. Again noise. Hello.
Sir,
Voice.
maybe some issue with your headphones.
Okay. What is issue, like, are you getting any
Yes,
text?
it's breaking.
Mm, okay. Is this okay now? Hello.
Yes, currently it's okay.
Okay. I think I tied up my headphones with my collar. Plus, I have a repeated name. But still, okay. Let's see. Okay. So here, this employee name is a variable, right? So here we have to pass the variable value it here. Okay. Employee name as, in the place of employee name, we want to use the employee name which is given by the user. Okay. This is the basic syntax to fix the result. Okay. So let's write it here. Okay. So just comment out this thing. Okay. I just made a comment. Okay. Now we want to fix the employee values. Okay. Now we want to fix the employee values based on the, okay, username, based on the username. So actually we want to get an employee, right? So mention it as an employee. Okay. So here, okay, here we have to use something called session object. In the session object, we are writing some query, right? Here we are writing some query. Okay, to get the values, we are writing some query. Okay. So here you can mention something like this: create query, create query. Okay. So then you can create a query. Okay. So the query, yeah, okay, where,
Sir, your sound is not coming.
you can mention the
Sir, sir,
employee
your
name.
voice is completely stopped.
My voice is stopped. I'm not audible now. Okay, give me a moment. Mm. Guys, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what's happening with my mic. Okay. Okay, actually, we are fetching the values based on the employee name, right? So employee name is the column name. Okay, here actually, okay, we have to give, okay, our name. I mean, we have to give one name na, to fetch the name. I mean, employee details. So here I'm giving string name equal to Bhaskar. Okay, sorry, actually I have something like Bachi, I think so. Okay, we have Bachi, right? So here string Bachi. In the name variable we are having the value, right? So here you can mention your name variable like this. Okay, name. Okay, so actually this is a part of a string. This is a part of a string. So you have to replace the name with some parameter. Okay, so here we have to set parameter. Set parameter. Okay, the parameter is name. Set the name, and it is a name. Okay, unique results, right? We want to get some unique results, so here you can mention unique result. Okay, so this is the query we have. Okay, now you can run the code. Okay, in the employee we will have some values who is having the name Bachi. Okay, now you can run this code. Definitely I think it's gonna work for sure. Yes, we have. See, we are fetching the values based on the employee name. Okay, so let's see the command how it is showing. Okay, see how it is fetching the values where employee 0 equal to employee name. Okay, so which is given by the user. Okay, so select the employee where employee name equal to something which is given by the user. Here in the question mark we have to pass the value. Hello, again, anything issue?
Sir, your screen is paused.
అరే ఏమైతుందిరా వాయిస్ అయిపోతుంది ఈరోజు the network is okay, but I don't know what's happening. Did I need to change anything here? I forgot. Only my laptop and mobile is connected now. I don't know, man. Still, my screen is paused. Hello.
No, sir. Okay.
Okay. Like maybe sometimes I don't know what's happening. I'm having the legendary 8 with me, so that's why maybe facing some issues. Okay, so I'm saying that, okay, when we are fetching the values, okay, Hibernate is writing an internal command. You can see the internal command. Select employee ID, employee domain, employee, okay, name, okay, so and so, okay, where it is selecting. So it is right, it is using where class, where employee name equal to something which is given by the user. Okay, so you can do this. So here actually we are giving the username by ourselves now. So here you can read the value from the user. Okay, system dot out dot println So enter username to print details. You can give like this. Okay. So here in the string name we have to use bs dot next because it is a string, right? Bs dot next, and we are fixing. Now you can run this code. Okay, enter username to print the details. Okay, so I'm entering something like jock. Okay, see, we are having the values of jock. Jock is employee ID 102, employee name jock, and employee one AWS, and the salary is 35. Okay, we can do like this. Okay, this is how you need to fetch the values based on the username, or you can write any column. Okay, yeah, this is what I want to explain. Okay, so we are fetching the values and we are inserting the values, okay, from Hibernate. We are directly writing the Java commands to communicating with the database, but it is internally it is writing all the SQL codes by itself. See, okay, this particular SQL command is given by the internally, na? So we are not writing a command like this, right? So it is writing internally. So no need of writing any SQL query. Okay, we can write the a simple HQL query, Hibernate query language. Okay, boys. And okay, somebody will have doubts like, okay, I want to print all the details. Okay, I want to print all the employee details. How to print all the employee details? Okay, in Hibernate. So how to print? Any idea? So we want to print all the employee details. So do you have any idea to print the details? Hello, any idea, boys? Okay, let's don't worry, I'm there. So let's comment out all these things. Okay, I don't want to remove this because I want to update this particular thing in the GitHub now. See, now I want to fetch the all the values. Okay, I want to fetch all the values of the employees. Okay, I don't want to fetch any one particular value. I want to fetch all the values. So here to fetch all the values. Okay, so we will have a set of records, right? We will have a set of records. So right now we are having only three have a 10 records, maybe you will have a n number of records, right? So here that's why, okay, I am creating one list. Okay, I want to create one list. In the list I want to store the employee objects. Okay, so first let's create a query here. Query qu equal to, okay, so we need to start the query by using ses. Okay, ses dot create. Okay, just I want to create a query. I don't want to execute any query. Okay, so I want to create one particular query. Okay? So actually we need to import this query from Hibernate query. Mm, actually, I think C is capital letter. Okay, I forgot the name. Just create, I think so. Here we can write some query. Okay, let's write some query here from EMP employee. Okay, from employee. We are fetching the values from employee, but I forgot the query now. Session dot create query. I think session dot create query. Okay, I forgot. Sorry. Okay, session dot create query. Okay, we are creating a one particular query. Okay, so here something like we need to create a one particular list because we will have many number of records. We don't know how many number of records are there in the database, right? So that's why I'm creating a one list to store the all the details. Okay, so here, okay, we are getting employee objects. Okay, we are not creating any integer type of list, or we are not creating any string type of list. Okay, we are creating an employee type of list. Okay, an employee type of list. Okay, so here li equal to, okay, li equal to, so we have to import this list from the utility package. Okay, so here you can use qu dot, okay, qu dot list. Okay, so qu dot list, so to get the list of employees from the database, to get the list of employees from the database. Okay, now we want to print the employee values, right? We want to print employee values. So here system dot out dot println. So before printing employee values, we need a for loop, because if you want to print any values in the something, so if you want to print any values in the list, we need a for loop, right? So here I'm writing a basic for loop. Okay, so list for loop of employee. I am passing the object reference. Okay, and here in the list we will have a different types of values. Here you can print something like this. System.println, in the place of system.println you can print e. Okay, just we can print e. And I don't want to use this particular thing also. Okay, so now run this code. Yes, we have. Okay, we have the employee values, employee ID, employee name, employee domain, employee salary. Okay, so I don't want to print values like this. Okay, I don't want to print values like this. I want to print the values like a table. Okay, I want to print the values like a table in the database. Okay, so how to do that? So yes, we can do it by using some system that changes in the output statement. Okay, so in the println, okay, you can print something like this: employee ID slash t. Slash t will give you the spaces, right? Slash t will give you the spaces, and we want to print employee name, and we want to print employee domain later, and then we want to print employee salary slash t. Okay, so just I'm writing this for this particular output statement for the headings. Okay, I'm writing this particular thing for headings. Okay, here we have to make some changes. Okay, so here first we need to print, sorry. Yeah, okay, sorry. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, my network. Thank you. Now we want to print the values like this, right? So here, okay, actually we are using some private variables, right? We are using some private variables in the employee, or I mean employee class. We cannot directly print it. Okay, we can print them by using the methods. Okay, we have a getters and setters. Okay, you can print them by using the, okay, get employee ID, and we need a space of backslash t. Okay, every time I want to print tab space. Okay, e dot, now we want to print get name, get employee name. Okay, backslash t. Okay, again, so employee dot get domain. Okay, backslash t, and we want to print employee salary. Okay, this is what we want to print. Okay, now you can run this code. See, we are having the values. Employee ID is, okay, something so and so. Actually, okay, there is some issue. Okay, I think we mismatched the backslash t's. Okay, backslash t, backslash t. Okay, yes, on this. I think the issue with the column names, column names very long. We have mentioned the column names very long, right? So just to make it more clear, I am removing the employee from the output ID. name. I mean, the names are too long, so that's why it is printing like that. Yes, we have a table-like structure. ID, name, domain, salary. Okay, so like this, we can print all the values from a list. Okay, so actually we are using a list to store the values. Okay, we are using the list to store the values. Okay, is this clear, boys? We are fetching the all the values from the table. Okay, actually I created a basic query. Okay, here I created a one basic query. Okay, query. Okay, equal to session dot create query from employee. Okay, we want to print the values, all the values from the employee, so that's why I just wrote from employee. Okay, so actually in this place we need to write the SQL. So how to write the SQL to get the all the employee details? Select star from, okay, employee, right? But here we are using just from employee. That's a beautiful, I mean, beautiful thing about the HQL. Okay, no need to write select star so and so. Okay, if you want to fetch one particular values, then only you need to write the select command. Okay, if you want to print all the values, no, so no need to write the select. Okay, you can just print the from employee. Okay, so this particular query will return so many records, right? So many objects to us. So that's why I created a one list of objects, one list of employees. Okay, and we are printing the, yeah, I mean, list of employees by using the basic for loop. Okay, like this you can print the all the values. Okay, so actually today we concentrated on, okay, how we are adding the, I mean, how we are inserting the values into the table and how we are retrieving the values to the, I mean, from the table. Is this clear for everyone? Inserting the values and retrieving the values. Are you clear with this? Any doubts? Okay, what
Yes,
about
sir.
others?
No, sir.
Okay, Prashant, no, you didn't understand or no doubts? Prashant,
Sir.
any doubt or any confusion?
No, sir.
Okay, what about Priyanshu, Ashutosh, Rahul, Hemant, Yogesh?
No, sir, it's clear.
No, sir.
No, sir, it's okay.
Okay. So
Clear, sir.
yeah, we can have a discussion on lot of HQL commands. Okay. So how to read the values, how to update the values, how to delete the values. We can have a discussion on those things as well. But today's lab day, we didn't have a much time. Okay. So now I'm gonna explain the program. Okay. You have, I mean, I told you now. So you have to complete one project today. The HR management, HRMS. Okay. We can call it as a HRMH. Okay, HR management system. Okay, the end user of our application is HR. HR is going to add the employees. HR is going to, okay, remove the employees. Okay, HR is going to add hike. Okay, if HR wants to give the hike to the people, okay, he can give the hike of 10 percentage, 12 percentage according to the HR choice. Okay, so we can create the different methods. Okay. So actually, this is the part of real-time project. I told you na, the real-time project. So actually, your real-time project is employee management system. Okay, I'm going to give the same project for, I mean, to you, but you have to complete the project in same JDBC and so and so. But you have to upload it in a one central repository at that time. Okay, your real-time project is going to start at October 10th. But so today I am giving you the basic project, the basic HRMS. Okay, so let's print the heading as HRMS. Okay, Human Resource Management System, the HR management system. Okay, so where you have to create a table called employee. Okay, your employee table can have employee ID, obviously, employee name, and something like employee domain, okay, employee designation, okay, employee designation, employee location, and employee salary. or you can add in the place of designation you can add phone number if you want to, or you can add a phone number in the class. Okay, these are the fields of employee class, I mean employee table. Okay, so you have to create this project by using JDBC, not with Hibernate, remember. Okay, so employee. Okay, so where you can write the different, I mean in the DAO structure na, in the DAO class. Okay, you have to write the methods for adding an employee, add employee to the database, remove employee to the database. Okay, and you can give the hike. Okay, hike salary. Okay, so you can give the hike by using the employee ID. Okay, and the percentage you can give the percentage like 20 percentage. Okay, and to remove the employee we need a one particular value which is an ID. And here you need a, okay, one class. Okay, you can create a class of employee, right? So you can create an employee where, okay, employee E. Okay, now you can add this particular E employee into the database. Okay, so just create a three different, okay, employee, remove employee, and hike salary, and okay, and write a JUnit test case, JUnit test cases as well. Okay, you create a program like this. By the end of the day, JUnit test cases to work. Okay, do you have any doubts? So how to hike the salary, ma? Okay, for example, okay, one employee having a 30,000 salary. Okay, so you want, I mean, 25,000, and 50,000 and 60,000. You have a four employees. Okay, you want to, okay, hike the salary for the employee who is having, okay, less than or equal to 30,000 salary. Okay, you want to give 20% hike to the employees. Okay, 20% hike to the employees who is having the salary less than or equal to 30,000. Okay, so okay, how to increase the salary now by 20%? Do you know how to increase the salary by 20%? What is the command? Okay, I'm opening SQL. Okay, you have to write one basic command to increase the salary. Okay, so actually, okay, Bhaskar having 45,000 salary, na? So here, okay, I want to increase the salary of Bhaskar by 10%. Again, I'm asking you. So I want to increase the salary of Bhaskar, okay, salary of this particular person, okay, by 10 percentage. Okay, by 10 percentage. So how to do that in SQL? I'm not asking in Hibernate, I'm not asking in JDBC. Okay, how to increase the salary of one employee by 10 percentage? Anyone? I want to increase the salary of one employee by 10 percentage.
By
Any guess?
finding 10% of total amount, total salary, then add it to the salary.
Okay. So I mean, just tell me the command. Just tell me the command.
Select star from employee
Hmm.
where EID equal to 101 and salary percentage of 20%. I think so
Right,
that.
and here, and this is not. You have to update one particular value in the table. Hmm? You have to use the, yes, you have to use the update for sure. We want to update one existing value, right? We need to use the update. Okay, update employee. Okay, update employee. Set. Okay, set. Yes, employee salary. Hmm. Equal to
equal to
hmm.
49 500.
No. You can write a command. However, is telling me the values. Don't tell me the values. So here you can write
Employee salary.
employee salary. Hmm. How to find the percentage and adding to the thing. So here you can write AS. Okay. So within brackets. Okay. Employee salary multiplied by 10 and divided by 100. Okay. Divided by 100 where where employee ID equal to 101. So this is the command. Okay, now you can run this command.
20
Okay,
ID.
see employee value got updated. Now we want to print the employee details. Now you can see 49,500 rupees. Okay, this is how you need to do. Okay, guys, is this clear? I can copy this command here.
Sir, your screen is
Yes,
now
sir. Sir, your screen is post. We
stuck.
can't see any command.
Yeah, just give me a moment. So here in the I wrote the command. Update employee salary
Your voice is not
salary.
audible.
Network. I'm I'm there in the same position. I'm using the same network. I don't know what's happening. Is this okay now at least? I'm not doing anything. Hello, guys, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, but screen is paused still.
Okay,
EMP salary, bus.
okay. Just I think I can stop my screen. I am sharing the screen again. Is this okay now? Hello, and this is the command which I wrote here, and the salary is updated by 4,500 because okay, out of 45,000.
Still not visible.
అరే ఏంద్రా ఇది guys, is this okay now? Hello.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
sir, yes.
so this is the command I wrote. You can see in the database. See, the employee salaries got updated by 4,500 because initially it has 45,000 na. So 10 percentage of 45,000 is 4,500 and 45,000 plus 4,500 is 49,500, and here is the command to update employee, set employee salary equal to employee salary plus employee salary multiplied by 10 by 100 where employee ID equal to 101. So you can read the percentage. Okay, you can read the percentage of hike and the employee ID from the HR, I mean the user, from the user. Okay, you can give the three options. Okay, you can give the three options: add employee, remove employee, and give hike to the employee. Okay, hike the salary or something like that. Okay. Hmm. That's it. We can do for all. If we want to particular person, if you want to give the particular person only, we want to write a where class, right? Okay.
Okay, sir. Without Without
Mm.
wear glass, we can hike all the employees.
All the ones, all the people.
Okay, sir.
Mm. Okay, this is the command. And I think any issues in the, I mean, Hibernate project? Is everything clear about the Hibernate, how we are returning the values, how we are fetching the values?
Sir, how we add test dependencies?
Sorry?
Sir, when we test the
Mm-hmm.
code, so they
Okay, so you
how
want to add?
sir dependencies. So you told us add some dependencies before test our code. So, sir, what is that dependencies and properties?
J so the dependencies to add JUnit is JUnit, Jupyter API, okay, and JUnit platform runner. Okay, these are the two dependencies that you have to add. You can see here. Where is this? No. See, JUnit, Jupyter API, and JUnit platform runner 5.4.0 and 1.2.0.
Okay, sir.
I send you the GitHub repository, na? You can copy the, the Maven dependencies from my code, na? You can copy, or you can search for Maven. You just search for Maven unit Jupyter, okay, Jupyter dependency. Okay. So go to the first click and copy the link. See, we are using which version? 5.4.0. Okay, you can use this thing. Copy this, and you need a platform runner, na? Unit platform runner. The unit platform runner, you have so many methods, okay, so many repositories, but I am using only 1.2.0 because I checked with every I checked with the every version, but I feel 1.2.0 is the best version, so that's why I'm using 1.2.0 of platform runner and 5.4.0 of Jupyter API. Okay, you can use those two things. Okay, Priyanshu.
Okay, sir. Okay, got it.
Okay, copy from the Maven dependencies. Okay, if you're unable to find, you can go to my repository. There you can copy my pom.xml. Okay. Okay. Any doubts? Any doubts? Yeah, we can do. We can do. We can sort it. Actually, we have to learn. Hibernate HQL language, na? HQL. Hibernate query language. In the Hibernate query language, we can have the delete method. We can have update. We can have count. Okay, we can have so many things. Don't worry. We will look at it. I mean, tomorrow we can discuss those things because I think today is very first day for the Hibernate, right? So I don't feel giving the all things in one. So that's why I break the sessions into multiple sessions. Okay, tomorrow we can discuss the HQL. As of now, let's understand how we are creating the Hibernate project and how we are configuring the database in the Hibernate. Okay, we have to do a lot of stuff, right? So before beginning the project, we have to do a lot of stuff. So concentrate on that. If you are very clear about the configuration, then we can start working on it. Okay, Nishan. Tomorrow we can discuss so many things. Don't worry. Yeah. Okay. So today is Thursday, right? Please complete the lab session by the end of the day. Everyone has to send the project. Okay. I only gave only three methods: add employee, remove employee, hike salary. You know how to delete the employee, you know how to add the employee, and I already told you how to increase the salary by some percentage. Okay. You can create these three methods and you can test it. Okay. Just write at least 2 to 3 test cases. Okay. Is it clear,
Excuse me,
guys? Yes.
sir. You wanted us to update the hike in salary that you want us to do.
Yes.
So for that we have to do 20% increment if the salary is less than 35,000. Otherwise,
Okay.
otherwise 10%.
No, no, no. I'm just giving you example. You can do whatever you want. You are the HR. You can give any, any hike. Actually, okay, HRs in the real time won't give the, percentage of hike based on the salaries. Okay. So they are giving the hikes based on the performance, right? So I can't say like that. Okay. You can just go with your own flow. But I need to hike the employee salary by some percentage. That's it. I'm not giving any calculations on the hike. If you
Okay,
want to
I
do it,
thought you want us to increment where the salary is greater than.
no, no,
I
no,
thought
no,
like.
not like that, not like that. I'm not giving that particular requirements. You can give any
Okay.
hike to anyone. Okay, in the real time, HR won't work that work like that. Okay, yeah. Okay, you can complete the project while you are in a session. Okay, don't leave the session before 2 o'clock. I'm winding up the session by today. Okay, if you are having any doubts, you can ping me out. Okay, chalo. Guys, anything wants to discuss? No. Okay. So let's wind up the session. Okay, please be in the session but till 2 o'clock. Okay, so please leave the session at 2 o'clock only. Please don't leave the before. Okay, and if you are having any doubts, you can ping me. But you have to complete the project by the end of the day. You can send me the GitHub repository by the end of the day. I'm not giving any extra buffer time for sure. Okay, because you already developed a banking kind of project, right? So I am not gonna give much time to complete this small task. It is very, very small task for you. Okay, guys. Okay. Bye.